Good afternoon, everybody. It's 2020. I hope everybody's happy and healthy out there. I'm making this video because 2020 is it's a new era for us. It's a time that we can make some new changes, specifically in relationships. Those can be personal, professional. Those can be family type of relationships. But most of all, when it comes to your personal relationships with your spouse or significant other. So, in general, we make choices in life, either to be alone, to find a partner, date somebody, get married. There's a lot of different levels a relationship can go to. Over the years, unfortunately, I've been able to subject myself to a lot of different versions of a lot of different relationships. So I've learned a thing or two, and I want to share and expand that knowledge and throw it out to you guys. So, and maybe you can offer some input here. But in the beginning, when you're looking into a partner, someone you want to spend your time with, there are things that come into play, and there's reasons why we want relationships. We're lonely. We want someone to share our time with, our dreams, our hopes, and we do these things for love or attraction. There's different, deeper levels of relationships. Love, of course, is the end result we all hope to find. Attraction is the initial, hey, she's hot, I want to bang her, vice versa, or I want to bang him. So it can be either way. But you want to make a decision as to why you're choosing to be in a relationship. What about having someone else in your life is the benefit? There needs to be a reason why you want someone else to possibly fuck your life up. So choose wisely, guys. I mean, this is your sanity here, and too many of us are picking relationships because we're lonely, and to fulfill selfish needs of our own. So we're going to dig deeper, and we're going to move on. When it comes to relationships, there's a few things that happen. When you first see somebody, we're kind of over here in the lust phase on the left side, and that's when you initially see someone. If you look at the little heart, it's kind of down by the, you know where that's at. So that's that initial, hey, holy shit, she's hot, he's hot, I want to bend you over the countertop, and you know what happens from there. So then there's attraction. These kind of go hand in hand. You look, you notice somebody, attraction starts in the brain with the eyes. You see something you like, you're like, wow, I could look at that, and I'd like to see you naked. Then you activate the groin heart. Once the groin heart activates, next thing you know, you're making out in the back of the movie theater. Things are happening that shouldn't be in there. After this kind of repeats itself back and forth a few times, a few dates, some flirting, yada, 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 you guys end up in an attachment phase because you grow closer to that person as you learn more and more about the person that you're with. So you need to initially decide when you meet somebody, do they fit certain qualifications and qualities of a man or a woman that you're seeking in life? What about them would make them a good life partner? And a lot of times we make the mistake of dating somebody for physical attributes only, financial reasons, things that are not really part of the deeper level of love and relationship. So we're going to kind of dig into why and rules of relationships, things that make relationships stronger, healthier, happier. Some of the rules in a relationship, we'll go down the list and then we'll talk about them briefly. Respecting the differences is what's on the top of this list. And what that means is when you meet somebody, you really need to define what it is you like about that person and what it is that makes them unique. And are those differences things that you are willing to accept? Does your boyfriend or girlfriend snore at night? Those are differences, but can you tolerate it? Does she like getting drunk on tequila while you like getting drunk on Budweiser? Those are differences. Can you respect the differences between the two of you? If she wants a case of Budweiser, will you go to the store and buy her a case of Budweiser so she can get tanked, stumble all through the house, and you'll clean up the mess? That's love, guys. That is love. And outside of that, basically, everybody has differences. There's things that we are engineered and wired to want in our lives, And the older and more confident we get in dating, the more we start to understand and appreciate differences in people. So first and foremost, respect the differences between each other. There's so many. The list goes on and on. But respect, if you look at some of these keywords, respect is the first thing. So equal balance of commitments for each other. Do you guys share a similar lifestyle? Is there balance? Do you balance each other well? Do you have similar professions, similar goals and viewpoints? Are you able to balance out your work and social life? So those are also things you guys will need to really look into when you meet somebody. You got to make sure these things are in place. Like I'll keep repeating that. People all too often jump into relationships so quickly because they're looking to fill a set of needs of their own. It's your own selfish needs, and you're expecting somebody else to fill those for you, and you don't even take the time to figure out whether they're capable of doing that for you. So learning to complement each other. You have to excuse me for coughing. Excuse me. Learning to compliment each other. And complimenting can mean verbally, emotionally, physically. An emotional compliment would be when somebody's having a bad day. Are you able to console them and give them comfort? A verbal compliment could mean when they wake up out of bed, you still tell her she's beautiful, even though she always is beautiful. Emotionally and physically, are you able to help each other out in life? Are there balances? I know everybody's dated somebody where there's been major differences and you waited too long to find out too late. So go through this list and repeat these things to yourself when you're selecting a partner, and make sure that they fit a lot of these qualities, because this is somebody you're going to invest your time with. And there's nothing more important in your life than your time. And that time deserves to be respected and appreciated and reciprocated. The happiness of which is essential to your own. What are the things that you love the most about life? And does this person offer anything towards that? Can they help complement your goals, your dreams, your aspirations? Do they offer encouragement and support? Are they a cheerleader in your life? Imperfections of which are being accepted. Everybody has flaws. Your girlfriend might be a slob. I mean, we've seen the photos on Facebook of a female's bathroom and what that can look like, and it's something out of a horror movie. But can you appreciate the imperfections and accept those? There's deeper levels of relationships, and sometimes we pick apart the person for minor things that are not really that important. So you have to define your own key rules and wants and needs in a relationship. Ongoing misunderstandings, but without leaving each other. Keyword, but without leaving each other. Everybody's going to have a fights and a disagreement, and in this day and age, it's so quick for somebody to run and ghost the person and disappear and head a different direction, and that's not fair in a relationship. In a committed relationship, which as adults, that's what you should be entering in if you invest your time to spend it with an individual and you're really hoping for something deeper. So that is very important to commit to the relationship, respect it, and stand by it. Never give up on each other in any circumstances. That could be a little miscued. Certain circumstances, I would say you could give up on somebody for. Somebody cheats on you, you got to kind of say, hey, peace. But in general, always support each other. Always be there. This kind of goes back to the last one. Always stick by each other, you guys. Sharing the same feeling and enjoying each other's company. That is probably one of the most important things I see, other than they all kind of go together. But you have to enjoy being around the person. Do they make you laugh? Do they make you smile? Do you feel comfortable and calm in their presence? Is there energy balancing in your life? We all know we got our introverts, our extroverts, our social butterflies, and our homebodies. So make sure that person fits the quality and the type of life, and you guys are suited for each other. Having trust, loyalty, and be supportive. Trusting your partner is probably one of the most important things once you embark on a committed relationship. Trust, loyalty, and support. To trust is to give your all and know that that person has your back. That you don't have to wonder what they're doing, where they're doing, but your interests will always be the first and foremost of their intentions. Loyalty, always stand by your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Be loyal to that person. In the face of temptation, always be loyal and be man or woman enough to be committed to the relationship and politely tell other people that they need to back off. Leave you be, you appreciate it, but you're committed to somebody and they need to step off. Be loyal to your partner, which will go with trust, which will expand the whole plethora of love in your relationship. Intimacy as in communication, commitments, touch, and sharing. Open up to your partner. Everybody tends to pick somebody, but yet we forget to get to know the person that we're trying to be in a relationship with. We tend to base things initially on sex and the physical attributes of the person, and we completely forget about the deeper levels of communication, commitment, touch, and sharing. You have to be able to be vulnerable, because if you're not, you're never going to be close. If you cannot be vulnerable and open and honest and share trust, loyalty, and support to your partner, you're never going to have a really deep, meaningful relationship. So we got to put our skeletons in the closet, but we got to openly talk about the things in our lives that cause this pain. And everything has to be on the table. In order for us to move forward, we got to make sure that we treat this person like our best friend. We tell them everything. Once you've established that level of trust, you don't jump into a relationship and just spill the beans. You have to establish trust, commitment, loyalty, understanding before you get to that point. But that's the journey we're on, guys. People that want to be in your life will always make time to be in your life. They will do the things that are necessary to show you you're important, and they'll show their level of commitment. You will very quickly realize how important you are to somebody just by the actions that they provide towards you. Some rules, guys. Some rules in relationships. Once you're in this committed relationship and you've decided to be together, a lot of these things will come into play, and they will only strengthen your bond. Hold hands. Walk together as one. Always embrace the relationship that you're in. You're sharing your life, your heart, and your soul with another person. And there's nothing more beautiful in life than having that deep connection with someone else that you know has your best interest at heart. Pray together. Share the same religious beliefs. And always be each other's cheerleader. Tell the truth even when it hurts. Sometimes, and we've all learned the hard way, lying always bites you in the ass. It always comes out in the wash. So it's better to be truthful in the beginning. And if it causes the relationship to end, then so be it. But at least you are honest. You will leave the relationship with integrity, some dignity, and maybe salvage a friendship down the road. Do not stalk your ex on social media. I guess that is a rule in 2020. So don't do it. Don't make creeper accounts. Don't make fake accounts. Don't friend request your ex on social media, calling yourself John Smith with a picture of a cactus as your profile photo. It's not cool. It's not going to make her want you back. So let's just avoid that one altogether. Do not expect what you cannot offer. So that plays into being equals. When you choose a partner, choose someone that balances you, but also choose someone that's equally capable of providing the resources for the relationship to grow. If you can't be honest, then don't expect your partner to be honest. If you can't be giving, then don't expect a giving partner. If you can't be considerate, then don't expect consideration. So think about these things when you enter in a relationship, and give. You'll reap what you sow. That's always been the rule. It'll never change. Treat them right or step aside and let someone else. If you're in the relationship for the wrong reasons and it's just a controlling situation, there's usually happiness somewhere out there for both people. You're not condemned to this relationship. We chose to bring this person into our life. We can choose to end the relationship also. And we can do that out of respect. Things don't always have to get ugly. Sometimes they do. That's emotion. That's human nature, you guys. Always do what you can to make their life better. You're supposed to be a source of encouragement, a cheerleader. You're supposed to be there for your partner through thick and thin, and give them hopes and support their dreams, but give them guidance, love, and support when it comes to the things they want in life. And that doesn't always mean monetary. It's emotional support, physical, a hug when someone's having a bad day, just sitting back listening to the things that they want to talk about at the end of the day. So do what you can to make someone else's life better. And when you do that, everything else comes together. Happiness, travel, these are the things you can grow. You can build a family. Spending time playing games with the kids. These are all things you can do as a family, and there's multiple levels and dynamics to relationships. We don't have time to really talk about that. That'll be another video, but find common interest. What is it? What is the tie that binds the two of you together? What are your core issues and your core moralities? There's some other words, but what gets you to the core? What is important to you? Is it family? Is it friendship? Is it travel? Make sure you're choosing the right partner that has the same ambitions towards this relationship that you have. Some things that you'll want to avoid. Bad habits to avoid in a relationship. So things can go south very quickly if you tend to be a finger pointer. If you cannot take inventory on yourself and be empathetic towards your partner's feelings and emotions, you're going to have problems. So avoid blaming and nitpicking. This will usually compound problems rather than solving them. We all have issues. We all have our little idiosyncrasies and things about ourselves that it takes a special person to appreciate. So you may have the boyfriend that can put his big toe in his mouth and he bites his toenails off. You might have a girlfriend who snores like a lumberjack. Somebody may have been raised differently than you, and everything goes back to a person's emotional growth. From childhood on, people are taught a set of habits that are geared and nurtured, and those things create who they become. So do not blame. Do not blame your partner for the things that they do, because they may be unaware of those things, because that just may be how they were raised and how they were conditioned. But that doesn't mean that you can't be empathetic and compassionate when it comes to understanding them and working that out as a couple. When your partner has honest concerns, don't become defensive or escalate the situation. Instead, listen. We don't always have to have an opinion. I always tend to interject and butt in and give my 2 cents, and it gets me in trouble, and sometimes that's just not necessary. Listening to what is important and try to understand why. Why you didn't call me? What happened? I waited 6 hours, and she tells you she was busy at work. Try to get down to the core of what happened that day before you jump to conclusions. Don't let insecurities control your emotions. Making important decisions without your spouse can cause contention and weaken your emotional intimacy. If you undermine your partner on decision making, it makes them feel substandard, as if they're not worthy. Always include your partner in these decision making processes, because this is a team effort, and you want to get input and feedback because you want to know how the things that you guys do in life affect each other. So being considerate of each other's needs and emotions will always help you avoid that conflict. When you have legitimate concerns, don't hide them. Keeping things feeling bottled up could lead to resentment. Resentment is a big problem in relationships. We keep our problems to ourselves. We stew and we stew and we stew all day long, and we get very aggravated and frustrated with our partners. And 9 times out of 10, sometimes the issues spawn from them or stem from them. Other times it's our insecurities brewing. Sometimes they may trigger something specific that triggers an emotional response in us, and therefore we reflect that back onto them. So we need to be cautious and considerate of where these feelings are coming from. Are they coming from us, or are they being projected from your partner? But we still have to stop. Go back to number 2, sit back and listen and try to understand. Sometimes people need a moment to chill out, and it's going to take a second before we can actually get to the place of where we're discussing things openly. Everybody has a love language, a way that they express themselves, and we have to slow down and try to understand that we're all not the same. If you do those things by creating tension, miscommunication, insecurity, You create distance. I know we've all sat in the same room with our partner or our spouse and felt like we were 50 miles away. We lost our ability to communicate, tell our partner we love them, how beautiful they are, we're glad to see them. The excitement we had just to see our partner when they got home from work dissipated, it disappeared. And now all you think about is leaving and getting out of the situation. You can't even muster up the words to get them off your tongue and your lips to communicate to your partner how you're really feeling. So you got to make sure that communication barrier never breaks down. Whether it becomes uncomfortable or not, it's important to address these situations and make sure that there is no barrier that binds the two of you. You never want a wall between the two of you guys. No matter what, always fight for open communication and be humble and considerate when you're talking about things. Don't belittle your partner. Don't overtalk them. Don't get loud. Be respectful and listen. Insecurity, things that will kill your relationship. There's more than just this, but insecurity, trust issues, jealousy, lack of communication. See, lack of communication. Assumptions, jumping to conclusions based on your own personal emotions before you find out what the truth is. Take a deep breath, slow down, relax, and wait. Wait to hear what the real reason is before you jump to a conclusion. Jealousy comes in many forms. Emotional jealousy. You could be jealous of a woman walking down the street. A guy could be jealous of another guy, a post, a comment, a tweet. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of reasons why people are jealous, but try to avoid that. And that all goes back to having trust. Trust issues create jealousy. All of these things are poison to your relationship. And all they do is they compound each other. It's a snowball. Once you let one in the door and you fail on lack of communication, everything goes down here. Without communication, everything else spirals out of control. You guys need this is your partner, this is your best friend. You share some very intimate moments together, and these are the things that you guys need to openly discuss to have a strong, stable relationship. You need to know where each other stands and that you have each other's backs. Because if not, there's no point in having a relationship. If your partner does not have your back 100% all the time, you're in the wrong place, and you're better off alone, rebuilding, working on your dreams and your goals, and putting the relationship portion aside till later on in life when you're ready to reinvest yourself into that. It's very emotionally draining to allow someone else in your life to not be fulfilled by the addition of that partner. It's like trying to bake cookies and your partner's the chocolate chips. If you bring chocolate chips into the cookie, would you not expect the cookie to taste better? I would. You take the chips out, you got a cookie, but it's not as good of a cookie. So when you choose to bring someone in a relationship, make sure you bring the chocolate chips in, and they're sweet, not semi-sweet, not dark chocolate. You want sweet chocolate chips in your cookies. In relationships, there's a lot of things that make us feel wanted, loved, alone, appreciated, special, important. We got to avoid pitfalls. We got to be mindful of social media. We got to be respectful of our partner. We have to embrace trust, communication, love and respect, consideration. All of these things are very important in a lasting, loving, healthy relationship between two friends that choose to live and love each other for life. Real love is not based on romance, candlelight dinner, and walks along the beach. In fact, it's based on respect, compromise, care, and trust. These are the things that we've just discussed over the last 10 minutes. It all boils back to these key emotions, these key respects, these key considerations. It's not about who dresses the nicest, who has the best job, who wears the coolest pants with the Gucci belt, who has the coolest hair, who drives the fastest car, who has the most likes on Instagram and Snapchat. At the end of the day, like now, we're all quarantined now. We're all alone. Some of us are alone, some with our partners. And I bet you some of us wish we had a different type of relationship. So I want everybody to listen to some of these rules and take some of these advices and learn to find what sparked your relationship in the first place. Get back to respect, compromise, care, and trust. With all those things in place, love will find its way into your life, and you will have a lasting friendship that will blossom into a love of a lifetime. Thanks, you guys, and I'm glad you stopped by to take a watch. Have a good day.